Hello, garden friends. Long time no see. It is Tuesday. No, Wednesday. No, it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday, October something, 16th, 15th, 17th, in there somewhere. Um, as you can probably tell, I have the sinus crud. It's not COVID, thank goodness, but it's zapped my energy. So, I was out here harvesting as many dahlias as I could because it looks like we're going to get a killing frost either tonight or tomorrow night. We've had a touch of frost up here. You'll see in this tour, um, but not a killing frost. But I think we are due. We're definitely overdue for our zone here in 6A. Um, and Gary has been pestering me for months to do a garden tour. And so I am just going to call this the bad and the ugly because there's no good, you guys. At this point in time, there is just no good. Um, so I'm going to show you the reality of the garden, stuff that nobody else is going to put out on social media. But I've always been about educating. So that's why we're starting here. So this row had been sunflowers. They got eaten by rabbits or deer and killed by the drought, I think, because there's no irrigation here in the garden, which I'm working to change, hopefully next year. But this year, I basically lost July and August because we had no water. These glads were the first ones that I planted. They produced well. The problem here is that I ordered from the Netherlands, which I shouldn't have done. I later found out that people are not having great luck with Dutch bulbs of any kind. And these were not the colors I ordered at all, except for white, which I think everything that I ordered was white because I've gotten mostly white glads. My plan here, just because I've never grown them before and I want to try, is I'm going to dig them up and save the bulbs and plant them again next year and see what happens. The last of the tomatoes, as you can see, right, terrible gardening hygiene here. I need to come in and basically rip these out. Again, the drought did us no good. Some late season zinnias that haven't done much. Only a couple bouquets this year got zinnias in them. I really need to double down and do something about my zinnia growing. Last year was fine. This year was a problem. Again, more sunflowers. Excuse me. They got eaten. What are these? The name is escaping my mind. But they didn't grow as tall as I needed them to for bouquets, so they didn't get used. Daylilies and irises looking worse for the wear. Hopefully, these daylilies will find new homes and I can use that garden space next year for something else. This was the very first row of perennials that I planted in 2018 when we moved back to the area. The Artemisia I used a lot in bouquets this year. The mums are the only thing that's like still going. I need to get in here and transplant stuff because it's too crowded. More glads here. Dahlias, again, I just picked the beautiful ones. So again, it's going to be the bad and the ugly. And a lot of these that I hope I can save them. I am going to cover with row cover just in case, but one never knows. But you can see they're just loaded with blossoms after a whole season's worth of doing nothing. I mean, you guys, like literally nothing because of the drought. And of course, did I get to stake these. No, I did not. I planted them close in hopes that that would help. It clearly didn't. So next year I know I have to stake all of the dahlias regardless of how close they are. But look, beautiful, 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 and I'm afraid I'm going to lose them tonight. The Cosmos lesson learned here is I only like a couple of varieties for bouquets. They will go all season long, but I just can't use these in bouquets. They look pretty from a distance, but they're not really. All right, what do we got here? I don't even know what this stuff is. Planted it because I wanted blue, and unfortunately it didn't grow tall enough for bouquets. So you can see the basil here got hit with frost. Basil is very tender and it doesn't like it, and so this is either lemon or cinnamon basil that was planted right here. Look at, can you see this guy? Where is he? Right there. Taking a snooze from the rain in the lambada. Which I left, I mean, it's been too far gone for months and months to use in bouquets, but I left it for the pollinators. The Sweet William went all season long. It's finally pooping out. The Snapdragons, these will withstand a frost. So they're look how good they're looking. I guess this is the only good looking thing in the garden. But they are flushing back for a second bloom. So maybe we'll get some Snapdragons. More dead stuff. Can't even tell you what that used to be. But look, more Snapdragons. And in back of them, we have the Feverfew. That's a perennial, so hopefully that'll come back. More tomatoes with basil that got hit by a frost. And then this, all of this right here is Tulsi basil. I planted none of it. It just reseeded itself. The stuff that I love to use in bouquets is the lemon and the cinnamon. They didn't reseed at all. The Tulsi clearly did. I'm going to need to come in and rip all of this out by hand so that it doesn't reseed again, because this is just an absolute mess. You can see more of the dahlias, right? Lots of blooms. See right here, this white? This is Orset Beauty. Lots of blooms, but the stems are so weak that they can't keep their heads up. So I'm going to do an experiment this year. This row is mostly Arabian Night, Kelsey Annie Joy, Lynn Slight, and Orset Beauty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig up one tuber of each of them, and I am going to overwinter the other tubers just to see if I can do it here in Zone 6A. Excuse me. I will chop them off and pile them with leaves and then cover them with a silage tarp. First of all, the tarp is black, so that will help keep the soil underneath warm. The leaves will also act as an insulator. And so we'll just see what happens. I'm not going to be heartbroken if I don't have a ton of these varieties. Well, I would be heartbroken if I lost Lynn Slight, but I'm not going to, because I have more of her elsewhere that I will be digging. Kelsey Annie Joy this year was a disappointment. She was one of my favorites last year, but I just haven't gotten a perfect blossom out of her this year. So like I said, I will save one tuber of each and just see what happens. And worst case scenario is the experiment fails and none of them come back and I still have some tubers because I dug one of each up. So I'm not too worried about that. More tomatoes. These zinnias did nothing all season long. Finally, they decide to start blooming. I don't know. I'm blaming the drought because I had no problem with zinnias last year. More glads. I just picked a ton of them today. These I'm going to dig up and then I'm going to plant with daffodils because these 2 rows are also daffodils. You might be able to see some green shoots coming up. I just like literally threw down cilantro and dill seeds when I dug the daffodils up in July. And so just now they are finally sprouting. So maybe I'll get some cilantro and dill out of these rows. I got to figure something out though, because I cannot have these rows empty in July, August, September, and October. That's 4 months of production that I'm losing with empty rows. So I've got to figure out what I can plant in there that's not going to affect the daffodil bulbs below, but will still be able to be used in bouquets. Um, these are all perennials. I've got Baptisia, Ansonia. The brown stuff is Liatris that I need to come through and just cut more glads. I planted a section like this every week or 2 during the summer so that I could have a succession of blooms, and that worked really well. I believe that's Victoria Salvia. This is the 2nd year growing it. I'm just not impressed. Like, I would need a whole field full of it to have enough to use. So I don't think that's going to be in my garden anymore. Right here we have sedum. This is its first full year here. Again, drought and the whole 9 yards, so it looks really bad. I'm hoping that next year, once it's established, it will really do its thing. Last succession of sunflowers that I don't know. I don't know if it was the drought or my timing or what, but I had timed these to bloom October in time for our Ag Fest on October 2nd, and they ended up like blooming the middle of September, and like I couldn't even use all of them. So I need to figure out my sunflower math as well. So as you can see, well, look, all of that's dill. So the garden is a mess. I haven't had time to get in it and make it ready for winter, which I will be doing the next couple of weeks. If I can stay healthy and energetic and it doesn't rain. So maybe I'll do another video and redeem myself with a beautiful garden that's ready to be spring planted. We'll see. I have been ordering lots of heirloom tomato seeds, researching, trying to find out what everyone's favorites are. So I will be back this spring with some of your favorite varieties and some new varieties to try, and definitely more flowers. I'm getting better every year, and so I'm just so grateful for my customers who have been patient and appreciative, so appreciative of the flowers, and I enjoy delivering them as much as they enjoy getting them, I'm sure. All right, y'all, stay healthy. Don't get this sinus crud. Talk to you soon. Bye.